is unmuted.
Hello. Hi. How's everybody
Sorry,
doing?
I'm still processing last week.
I think we all are on some level.
What do you think I'm stressing?
Last week, you all were confronted by Simon Blackthorn in the cathedral, giving you a second warning to get out of the city. You all spent the next several hours shopping with Willem, going through dozens of glorious and wondrous and wacky goods before using one of said items, the Bloodstone, to find the location of the person related to Alvin that was the closest to you all. This person was in the city. But as maybe you all expected, you were being followed. Blackthorn had eyes on you and confronted you, giving you 12 hours to get out of the city, as a ploy, hoping that you were looking for the same person he was, which was a mage of the sect Augustus, the secret mage spies of the Valerian Empire, one of which just happens to be Alvin's estranged or long-lost mother, whatever your preferred terminology is on that. He confronted you. You all finally had a chance to actually break through and understand what he actually was after with all of you, pushing you to be stronger, and even he would probably like to take down his brother and potentially even Vecna. One of your party members did not like this decision and decided to teleport out and ultimately paid the price with their life and the life of the person he teleported out as well. We start with the five of you standing there with Grak and Aeon and Alvin's mother. As you see Blackthorn floating down now from these rooftops, carrying these two bodies, throwing them at your feet.
Blackthorn, do you mind if I do something to the cat thing? I promise you can have most of him. I just need two things.
Hey, is that a duck over there? I'm gonna walk away.
Simon, what have you done?
I mean, you did tell me to kill him. That was just
Him,
Him.
not her.
She was not part of the deal. Take your pound of flesh, but leave Brynhilder
You can
to us.
do whatever you want to. Body and have the other body. I do not mind.
I'm gonna pull out my daggers and go to our cat friend and, well, not friend, I guess. And I'm gonna try to cut his hands off.
Yeah.
From where the glove thing's attached.
You cut below the tattoos, and when you slice through, crack the bone, the gloves pop out of the severed arms. Not a lot of blood comes out, which kind of is surprising to you.
And then I'm gonna grab his backpack off of him too.
And I'll reach down and I'll take the Denethor's host, the sword, off Prom's body and hand it to Grack and say, I think this should be with you now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have to take it back to Boss Man sooner than later.
I was gonna take the gloves back to him. We don't really need them.
Yeah.
So if I understand this correctly, both of these bodies should become vampires sometime in the next 2 hours or several hours.
That is exactly what will happen to both of them. Yes. Him a thrall. Though. Less intelligent, more crazed.
And what about her?
A spawn.
Can we do anything to stop that?
Yeah, from a little ways. Probably tie her up.
Simon kind of is like wiping some blood off of his fingertips. You cannot stop the process once they have reached this state. You can kill them and try and bring them back again, but resurrections like that's always tricky.
I look at the other vampires that are with Simon. What do they look like? Do they look hungry?
A little bit.
Like I said before, your men can feel free to take their pound of flesh from Prometheus, but leave Brynhilder to us.
That I already agreed to, and I believe is more than fair.
Understood. So about this deal,
Yes.
can you stop attacking the Raven Forge and the Shadar Kai, and we'll kill your brother for you?
Yes. I do not expect this thing to happen overnight. I understand that going after a vampire lord is not an easy task.
Definitely not. I'm not sure we're strong enough to do that right now.
No, judging by my experience this evening, no, you are not.
And we knew that. At least I knew that we weren't. That's why I wanted to work to some resolution that helped all of us, and it seems it has.
I think those of us who are alive all agree that we didn't want to attack you tonight.
I think one that is dead didn't want to attack you either, though.
Yeah.
Well, that certainly didn't end in their favor, now did it? As he's talking, Simon lifts like the backpack off of Prometheus's body and kicks the boots off.
I walk over, look at Prometheus' body, say a prayer, and say, "May your soul never ascend."
Oh, if that's the case, then I have something much more devilish in mind.
What he did was uncalled for.
I have no use for people who not see loyalty. There are ways to make vampires punished if you would rather see him not become dinner.
I'd rather see him in a 9-deck hell.
Dead is dead. Do what you want with him.
I don't care what you do with his body. He's already dead.
Then I proceed to go over to Bryn's body and tie her up, wrap her up.
I'll help with that. I've got a length of rope of my own as well.
And I'm gonna walk over to Prom's body and remove the rest of his items that he has on him. And pick up the bag.
DM, did the party get the rope of entanglement from Willem's shop?
Oh no, you guys got it from a chest.
We got rope of climbing from a chest.
Correct. I don't actually remember what you guys did. Did you end up buying that?
I thought we did.
We did.
Okay. Then yeah, that would be in his backpack as well. Along with the 12k platinum that he had left. Or 14k platinum he had left.
Yeah, let me throw that on my character sheet.
Yeah, if we've got the rope of entanglement, I'll use that to tie Bryn up as well.
Okay.
And once I'm sort of satisfied with how secure she is, I'll turn back to my mother and try to continue our conversation from before.
After what Bile said, you see that Blackthorn speaks to several of the vampires in a language you guys do not understand. And hands them the body of Promathus, and they lie off. I have other matters to attend to, but I believe if you're able to bring your companion back, you do have ways of contacting me for more information.
And what if we can't?
How about I just send a messenger tomorrow morning? Fair enough.
Fair enough. I just turn to my mother and just hug her.
She gives you a hug back, and it is familiar but also distant because a lot has happened since you two last spoke all those years ago.
So, Mom, where have you been this whole time? What's been going on?
After the cult, I realized too late what it was. I escaped in the middle of the night. I couldn't convince your father or sister to come with me, and I went back to Valerian and was lucky enough to be welcomed into my old life.
And what exactly is that old life?
I was chosen as a young girl to train in the arts of wizardry within the city of Valerian. Really, what they were doing was training secret soldiers for war. The war against Vecna, the war against Al Ghul and Empire, I do not know, but a war. Staging us all over the world, every city, with missions.
So are you saying that the Valerian Empire is intending to make war against the Whispered One?
I do not know what our Mage Emperor's plans are. You see her hand go up. And she casts Detect Magic in case she's being scryed on. She kind of looks around, making sure there's no lights from the orbs. I don't know if it's against the Whispered One or against the Algulan Empire should they falter and let Vecna destabilize them.
I fear that may have already happened.
I am
The Algulan Emperor and his brother, who you just met, are vampires.
Yes, that was a little surprising, but not much. How deep they are in with the Whispered One is a whole other matter, and something that we need to address.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we've been trying to find out too.
I need to meet up with my counterpart within the city and write a report and send it back. You all should get back to the Raven Forge and in a secure location before your party member turns.
I just nod.
I do too.
I know that, Mom. I know that you can't have contact with the Raven Forge or the Resistance. That would compromise both of you. But is there anything? Do you think you can find something out about this perpetual darkness?
Yes, I can try and find out.
Because making that go away could indirectly help the Resistance.
Yes, absolutely. It is most likely magical in nature, so it shouldn't be super hard to divine out what could possibly
Just be
cause
careful.
it. I will. If I come up with anything and find out anything, I'll send you a message.
How do we get in touch with you?
That I do not have an answer for right now.
Alright, just stay in touch.
Contacting me may actually prove risky and expose yourselves to
Understood.
more
I think if we can
enemies.
I think if we can bring Bryn back successfully, it's probably time for us to get out of this city and lay low.
Probably be a good idea. Alright.
Take care of yourself, Mom.
She'll bring you in for another hug.
Stay safe now.
Much
I'll
more
just cry.
warm
I'll
than
just
the first
cry a
one.
little bit
Yeah.
as she's hugging me.
You can see her, like, try and hide it and wipe a tear away, like, pretending she's scratching her nose, but wiping a tear. As she walks away, pulling her mask back up over her face and going into the night.
Well, at least we didn't have to kill her.
I hoist Bryn's body up over my shoulder.
Yeah, let's get back.
We need to figure out who. Well, we need to find the way to bring her back. It's what we have to do.
Let's ask Zvir. He might have a lead on someone who can do it. Someone in the Raven Forge who we can trust.
We did just save them. And I'm sure they might trust me with that information, of all people.
So you guys are ready to head back to the Raven Forge?
Yes, sir.
Yup.
A brisk 30-minute walk. You, thanks to Race's abilities, know the way back better than you would know the way here. And you arrive with them. By the time you get through the city and down into one of the secret entrances that Xavier's made you aware of, and back down into the bunker, there seems to be a little bit of confusion going on within the meeting room. It takes Xavier a second to notice you all and come in. I'm glad to see.
Yeah, it didn't go
Well,
quite the way we expected.
unfortunately, it never does. Step 3 is throw away the plan, right?
We found out the cat didn't like our plan. It's not that we threw it away. He didn't want to go along with it.
I'm kind of dealing with our own conundrum here.
What's going on?
With the eternal night that's been over the city right now, that I'm sure you guys are well aware of having gone out in it, we're getting attacks on the fringes of the Raven Forge, them poking and prodding to see what defenses we had, and then about 20 minutes ago it just stopped.
You're
You can
welcome.
thank us.
Do I even want to know what you had to give?
We've struck a deal with Simon Blackthorn. He and his men are going to stop attacking you indefinitely, in exchange for which, at some point in the future, we're going to have to do a favor for him.
Don't worry about the favor. We won't need your help. But I had to protect the only people I know like myself.
It's a favor we truly don't mind doing. It's just going to take a while. So, rest easy. Know that you're safe for the time being, and we'll be out of your hair within the next day or so.
It's a deal with the devil.
We know.
It protects you, though, too.
Yeah, this place was too important. We didn't want to risk it falling.
You didn't have to, but it's appreciated.
It'll give you more time to use that platinum to get it done.
Yeah.
Take the money we gave you and use it to build up your defenses and make sure you're ready for whenever the truce is broken, whenever that may come.
And look, here's some more. And I hand him the 14,000 platinum that were in Prom's bags.
All right.
And there's more, and I'll gesture toward Bryn's body.
As I gently lay it down on the table, lay her down on side.
Check your mic connection, dude. It's a little wonky. It's coming in super static. You have her tied up that I assume she was bit.
Yes.
All right.
She's going to be a vampire within hours. When that happens...
Right. There's about an hour until what is supposed to be dusk.
Yes. It's a lot sooner than you think. Maybe an hour if we're lucky.
Okay. She's going to turn into a vampire, and then we'll have to kill her. Once that happens, we'll need your help resurrecting her. Do you know anyone?
We have several clerics of the Raven Queen that can perform a resurrection spell. True resurrection.
And how much will that cost us?
88,000 platinum. You all have given us nothing. If we have the diamond on hand.
Remember, she was a follower of the Raven Queen, too.
Yes.
It would do you well to have her back.
Yes, it would. All right. For reference, it is a diamond worth 25,000 gold or 2,500 platinum. So it is not. It's not a small diamond. It's a big diamond. You can use the same room you all have been using to rest in, or we can find you a different bunker to
Is there a specific way she has to be killed? I'm a little iffy on the procedure when it comes to vampires.
they she will just come and try and get to her final resting place when she reappears, and she just has to be struck down. If it's too much for you, I'd be willing to do it.
No, we can do it. We should be the ones to do it.
I can't put that burden on you. I'll do it if I have to, but I won't leave that to the forge.
All right.
Do we need stakes or holy water or anything like that, or will this do and I'll just brandish my glaive?
Considering she's a spawn, there should be plenty. True vampire, you have to kill them in their resting place, but for her, just striking her down her first night.
Okay.
Alright, I'll go find the diamond. You all can take whatever room you want for this.
And while we're getting set up in the room, I'll just turn to Lucy and ask, you doing okay?
I will guard the body.
I think that's a pretty ridiculous question at this point, don't you think?
Well, okay in relative terms, I suppose. None of us are really okay.
Just do what we need to get done.
Alright. You all guard body and wait for dusk to come. Royce gives you all 15-minute warning until it's nightfall, and you hear a severe knock on the door. I have the cleric from the church here, and we do have the diamond, so we'll be ready when the time comes. Just knock on the inside of the door, and we'll come in when it's done.
Thank you, Zafir. I'll just take my glaive out and I'll wait for the transformation to happen.
Alvin, I can do it if you want. It's some. I just.
Alvin doesn't respond. He just stands there with his glaive.
As night falls, at first you think nothing's happening, and then you hear these bones cracking, the fingers elongating. You see the bones cracking, the fingers elongating. The jaw goes out of kilt and then back in. You hear the grinding of teeth, and you see these eyes open on this restrained body on the table, starting to writhe and trying to free themselves.
I'll just clutch my holy symbol and say a quick prayer to Arathis. And then take.
You get a ton of bonuses on this. Give me 1 second. If you're within 5 feet, you have advantage because they are prone. Oh, all attack rolls have advantage because they're also restrained.
Yeah, so I'll just take a swing.
Okay.
So that's with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So I rolled a 16, so I think that's a 31 with all
Yep.
my new swag.
That does sound right.
Before I roll damage, do I get any kind of sense from what I can see of like how much damage is going to be necessary here?
Her body was pretty drained, like dried skin taut against the muscles and stuff, and it's kind of expanded back out, like she's alive with kind of undeath energy. So it's possible it's more than her original hit point pool, her total constitution was before.
Okay, then I'll do a first level divine smite, and I'll spend a charge, and I'll spend a hit die.
Okay. She is undead, so you do get an extra.
Yep, so that's my d10 plus 3d8 plus 4d6.
Believe so. Yes.
That's 43.
Okay. I had the wrong thing pulled up. It is not quite enough. Still writhing in pain.
I'll just turn to Royce and let him do the next one if he wants to.
Okay.
And I'll pull out my daggers.
Okay.
And give me 1 second, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I'll take a stab with both of them.
Just do one for now.
I want both. Okay. That's going to be 24 to hit.
It does.
For 9 damage.
Okay. And that'll be enough. Stab it near her heart. Just the body stops moving.
And Alvin will just break down into tears as soon as that happens.
Silly. Aeon wiping away. It looks like almost bile instead of tears in his undead state. Just knocks on the door for you all. For Zavir and this older, very old Shadar Kai, cleric in robes of the Raven Queen. Extremely ornately decorated with signs of the Raven and the symbols of her realm in the Shadowfell on them. And will come in.
What's your name?
I wouldn't be worried about that right now. But you must know my name is Alasse. Out of game Alasse. I am a priest of the Raven Queen for some time. Let us begin and try and bring the willing soul back to this body. If you do not mind. And see this.
All right, test.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, you're here.
All right. I have to put it on push to talk.
Cool. Welcome back. Glad to have you. And out of game, we're going to be using Matt Mercer's resurrection rules. It is an hour-long spell to cast any of the non-revivify spells, and during such, you can either describe how you want to use your spell casting ability to participate in the ritual in some way, or say something to try and draw the soul back to the body to lower the DC, i.e., the willingness of the soul to return to the body. So she puts this gigantic diamond in the center of Bryn's chest and takes this holy water that almost has like this sheen to it that seems to be purple and gold and greens, and draws a raven on her forehead. And this begins the ritual. Who would like to go first?
I will.
All right.
I'll take out Bryn's tea set and just make a pot of tea. And when it's ready, I'll pour myself a cup of tea, drink it, grimace a little bit, and I'll walk over to Bryn. And then in a low voice, I'll say, I still don't like tea. And I still have a lot to learn about fate. But I know this isn't yours. We need you, all of us. And I know we can't do this without you. And then I'll set the teacup with the tea leaves in the bottom down next to Bryn. And I'll lean down and just kiss her on the forehead. And when I do that, I'll cast Bless on her.
Can you make a charisma check for me, please?
22.
Bael has volunteered to go last. Lucy, if you would like to say something, or Royce.
I pull a ring that none of you have seen out of my bag. And I go up to her and I put it on her hand. Bren, you're closer to me than my sister. And this is a signet of my family. And I need you to come back. Because you are my family. And you need to be here. Evandra wouldn't have brought me here to meet you to end like this. So please, please come back.
Okay. All right.
And I'll walk up to Bryn afterward.
Can you make a charisma check for me,
Oh, go ahead.
Lucy? Thank you.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Plus 11 is 31.
11?
Yeah.
Mm.
Persuasion, yeah.
Oh, is it persuasion, not
Yeah,
just
sorry.
charisma?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
that's plus 8.
Yeah, you
So
beat the
28.
DC. You beat the DC by
Yeah.
anyways.
Mine's 25 then,
Yeah.
not 22.
Cool. All right. Royce and then Bael.
And I'll walk up to Bryn and speak to her. Bryn, I don't trust a lot of people in this world, but I trusted you with where we were headed, and we can't do this without you, and I know it. I don't like tea either, but if Alvin's having a cup, then please pour me one if you're here. We need you. You need to come back.
Okay.
And then I'll take a deep breath and back away.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Bael.
I walk forward, pull out a banana, kneel down. Bren, I know we haven't talked much. I know you looked at me weird for eating a banana whole. So I start peeling the banana.
Aw.
Look, eating a banana, grab the peel and throw it away. And I'll grab a cup of tea and I'll drink it. Pull out my holy symbol, place it down on her. I give her the strength to come back, please. We need her.
Make a persuasion check, please.
23.
Okay. All right. Okay. On a 10, starts out at a 10 for resurrection rules. With 3 successes, it lowers the DC to a 7. And, oh god, I can't. I rolled an 8. As, Bryn's eyes reopen and her lungs fill with air again for the first time in several hours.
I'd furiously just start untying the rope.
Yeah, same here.
I like to be tied up sometimes.
Right back into it, guys. Good God. I expect nothing less, though.
Please tell me she gets some inspiration for that.
Yes, she does.
Please.
Welcome back.
Thanks for bringing me back.
It's good to see you alive.
The last thing I remember is being hit by Simon and shooting back at him.
He's on our side now.
For now.
It's tenuous, but the attacks on the Raven Forge should stop.
And what do we have to do?
We have to kill Lachlan. Not right now, but eventually.
And Bryn looks around. Where's Prometheus?
He didn't make it.
We had to give Simon something. I'm sorry, Bryn.
Everything has a cost, right?
Actions have consequences.
Is there anything of his that you would like?
Is there any figurines, DM?
Yeah, those figurines are still in his backpack of belonging.
That's just what I take.
Okay.
What now?
He also has 4 potions of everlasting healing in there on his bandolier that Simon kicked off and put in the backpack.
And what do those do?
You roll a d20 every day at dawn, and it's either a regular potion, a greater potion, or a supreme potion. So it's either 2d2, a 4d4, or an 8d4.
And it just refills every day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who wants one? I think maybe everyone but Bael and I, because we can heal ourselves.
Okay.
That sounds good.
I think that's fair.
And they're called potions of everlasting healing, and they're a blue item. I already put the one into Masha's sheet. Bryn, Lucy, and Rice. All right.
How much was the diamond that it cost to bring me back?
Don't worry about it.
Severe looks at you and says, "Don't worry about it. You
I'll
have
look
paid
at.
enough."
I'm gonna look at Aeon. Would this work on him?
I could use my brother back.
Priest will make an Arcana check.
Guidance.
So it's 18 plus 8 for 26 plus 4 for 30. Clutch guidance. Fortunately not. His state is a bit more complicated.
But you have a way.
If someone were to The likelihood of someone even having it prepared in this day and age of magic being limited is risky, but if someone were to prepare a wish spell, it might be enough.
I'll look to Bael and I'll say, and I'll look and I'll pull out my book again and show it to him. Did Willem ever write us back?
About that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bael asked me to send him a message about a wish spell, and we never got a chance to look at it.
Yeah, the book, Willem says he'll have one available if you guys want to come pick it up.
I walk off. Bryn, do you want to join me?
And follow.
Head to
Yeah.
Willem's.
Yeah, we'll follow as well.
Yeah.
Before we leave, I'm actually gonna pull out the cloak that I took off.
Okay.
And hand it to him.
And as we leave, I'll turn to Severe.
He has 3 attuned items, otherwise he'd attune it, but he does put it on.
You deserve that, Sawyer. You know who that came from.
Are you talking to Aeon, or?
Or Aeon, sorry,
Yeah.
not Sawyer. Blah.
Yes.
I'll turn to Severe and I'll say, well, I think this is it. After we go see our friend, I think it might be a while before we come back to Aston.
Understandable. Truly, with what you've been through the last 3 days.
Yeah, with how much trouble we've caused here, you're probably safer without us.
Or safer with you all fighting by my side, I haven't decided yet. We know how to get a hold of you if we do need your assistance.
We'll be back. This isn't goodbye.
Alright. Before you guys leave, Grack will kind of like wave and get your attention. Listen, the last like 24 hours has been some of the most interesting of my life. And I fought the head Abishai of like the ancient one like 5 years ago, and I thought that was the most interesting thing. I have to go get this back to Delathon, so this is where I take my leave of all of you for now.
Thank you for your help. We
Tell
appreciate
your
it.
boss I said hello.
I will. Out of game, whose names do you have in the book now?
Willem, Severe, and Simon.
Okay.
I would have put Alvin's mom's name in the book.
She seemed pretty adamant that if we try to contact her, that could be dangerous. So she's going to keep in touch with us.
Last chance to get Grack's name?
Oh, is that an option?
Yeah.
Who are we taking out? Severe?
Oh, can you only have 3 in there at a time?
Yeah.
Yep.
We should keep Simon in there.
And Willem seems handy, but
Yeah, we should keep him in there too.
We need to keep Willem in there.
So yeah, I guess take Severe out for now.
and he can contact us, right?
Yes, he does have sending himself. He's an innate spellcaster.
So Grack, I have this book right here.
So does Grack, but he's not the type to send messages. He's the type to reply to them. The little bit you have gotten to know him. Sorry. Yeah.
If you put your name in it, we can contact you anytime we need to.
Okay. Do
Are you not interested?
I mean, I am. It's just that book falls into the wrong hands with my true name on it. I can get in a lot of trouble. But roll a persuasion check on Grack.
Guidance.
The guidance fight is back on.
Dirty 20.
Okay. And but he kind of grabs the book out of your hand and pulls out his own quill and writes his full name in it, which you see for the first time, which is Garan Arak. Actually, I even put it in my own chat wrong. Anywho, this has been a really emotional hour. Do we all want to take our break here and then go see Willem, or we good? I see one person no, one person yes.
Whatever the group wants to do.
How you feeling, Brennan, Lucy, and Royce?
I'm good either way.
Okay. Okay. With that, I guess 3 of you are off to see the wonderful Willem of Oz.
We all skip too.
Followed the yellow sewer road, and it doesn't sound right.
Why only 3 of us?
I thought Bael and Bryn were trying to go off.
No, I think everybody would go, right?
Okay, everybody's going? Okay.
We're all going.
Okay.
It's adventure time. Time to go on an adventure.
Okay, not what I thought you were trying to do there. So that's... Woo! I thought we were about to get some Jake the dog jokes.
Bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Dick point.
Thank you for those. Thank you so much, Lucy.
With that, you guys are all heading off to Willem's. It doesn't take too long in the sewer until the golden door of magical goodies opens up.
Give it a knock.
It opens up as you all have been accustomed to, and Willem is there. I obviously know one thing to what I owe the pleasure, but I don't know if there's any other news. What's the goings on out there?
Well,
so I might have a return for you. And then I pull the
Cocked that.
glove things out.
Yeesh.
Do you pull them out, arms and all?
No, they separated from the arms. Much less gruesome, but
yeah. So you have a couple of cat arms in your backpack. Just make sure to add that to your inventory.
I got it. Cat arms. Heard.
It isn't a bag of colding, so they're not gonna last.
That was fast.
Well, he did something stupid, so I figured you wanted these back.
Fair.
Clearly didn't have 9 lives.
Clearly.
I'll look over and just give Royce the stink eye. It's like, speaking ill of the dead, really?
He killed our friend, and we had to kill her.
He's only
I
mostly
had
dead.
I had to kill someone that is a friend to us. Yes, I will.
Royce, I was there too. I'm just saying, we don't have to make jokes about it.
Did you ever find that broom I was looking for?
Now, question: does Bryn come back undead?
No.
She was undead as
Yeah.
the vampire spawn, but now she's back to normal.
Now
Correct.
she's the normal amount of undead that she was before,
Cool.
which
Sorry,
is
D&D
probably
Beyond was
not
telling me.
0.
D&D Beyond was telling me I didn't own content I did. So I was dealing with that. What exactly were you looking for again?
A broom, one that I can fly around on.
You see him like, I'm not gonna whistle because it will blow my freaking mic out because of how sensitive it is. But you see him like whistle, and you see this broom kind of fly up to his shoulder and just kind of hover there.
And what
I
of the
knew I had one hiding somewhere.
item that I asked for?
I've already forgotten, unfortunately. I've been doing research for you all on what's causing this eternal night.
The wish?
Oh, yes, the thing you specifically asked for. And he pulls out this really, really, really tightly bonded, looks like a huge, long magic scroll.
And how much?
Let me do the math on that in my head.
While he's doing that, I'm going to take the empty tankards out of my backpack and take out the alchemy jug and just pour everyone a glass of wine, because it seems like we all probably need it right now.
Interesting. That'll be you're paying in platinum, I assume.
Yes.
That'd be
Yes.
500 platinum for the scroll, and 100
And the
platinum
broom?
for the 100 for the broom.
Now I do have to ask, what about the replenishing quiver of magical bolts I asked for?
Well, that I'm still trying to find. It's smaller, it's more difficult to find. I can't like whistle and have it come to me like the broom. You know what I mean?
You see Bryn just like hovering on the broom in the shop. So back to what you just said about the eternal night. What have you found out?
And he goes back to reading his book to make another Arcana check, or history check rather. Both my clerics are busy. God dang. But no, both people with the cantrip are busy. God dang it. I heard Bael say it.
I was just in my ear.
Yeah. So 18 plus 12 is 30 plus 4 is 34. As he goes back to reading this book. There are, or rather was an item that was thought lost during the Age of Heroes, that could create eternal nightfall within a 10-mile radius. It's possible they've found it and are using it, but I don't understand why they'd be using it here and not in the capital.
Another mystery.
Indeed. Wrapped in an enigma, even.
Is Royce's brother with us?
Yeah, Aeon came with you guys.
I'll walk over to Royce with scroll in hand. Here, Royce.
I don't know how to use this, but I want to.
It's to help your brother. Make him whole.
Willem, is this something you can help with? I'm not sure any of us know how to use that scroll.
Un momento, I'm making sure I have the... Okay. So, there's only one person in the party who can cast the scroll without having to make an Arcana check to be able to read it.
Lucy?
And that is Lucy.
I'll look over and hand the scroll to Lucy first. I have no clue what this is, but you're from a land that I don't understand, so maybe you can.
As I walk past Royce over to Lucy, I touch her and cast guidance.
I will say be very, very careful how you word it. Sometimes these things backfire.
Why's it gotta be me?
Just take a sip of wine and watch Lucy work.
Oh, baby. All right. She takes a deep breath and unfurls the scroll.
You can read it without a problem. She understands what the runes are saying.
Now, you do understand if I do this wrong. He could end up worse off than he is now.
I trust you, Lucy.
We all have faith in you.
Let's put a hand on Lucy's shoulder. You got this.
So I read the runes, and I make my wish as follows. I wish for Royce's half-brother to be returned to his original state of living.
So roll a d20 with your spellcasting modifier, and it is a check, so you actually do get guidance on it.
That's why I gave her guidance.
I thought it was technically a spell attack roll. That's why I looked up the rules.
$24.
You see the spell scroll. What color is your magic, by the way? I've always asked. I've always forgotten to ask. Lucy.
Gold, like Avandra.
Okay. So you see the spell scroll disappear in like this golden fire and kind of curl up. Kind of ember hangs in the air for a second and then vanishes. And then you are all blinded by this golden light.
Blinded by the light.
Take a point. Also, because it's a spell scroll, I get to roll the D100 on it. You can continue to cast Wish if you get it on your spell list. And you see all of a sudden see a very different, more full-faced, more similar-looking version of Royce standing there, strapped to the nines with like 5 guns. Just kind of like.
Does his ears come back?
This is new. Yes, his ears do come back because it technically restores the body.
How do you feel?
Weird.
I'll hand him a glass of wine from the
Just
alchemy jug.
Downs
How's this taste?
better than the ash I was drinking before every time I put something liquid in my mouth.
The only person that knew about this was Bren. That I was gonna do this for you.
It's much appreciated. Really. He was looking at his undead hands. Like, they're not, like, there's a stark difference. Like, you could see the bone and the muscle, like, dried muscle underneath his hands. Now it's like a full elven hand. Like the one you saw from a distance in the temple, really.
How does it feel?
Like I said, weird. It's only been 3 days, but jeez.
Well, it looked like I did it correctly.
I believe you did.
Still hate your family?
Yes.
Even your brother.
No.
I could care less about our father, but you didn't deserve what happened to you, so I had to make it right.
We're going to have to kill him at some point.
I look forward to it.
Excellent.
You can join the club, Royce. We've got jackets.
He deserves it with what he did to him.
The Daddy Issue Club.
The Patricide Club is a more exclusive subset of the Daddy Issues Club, I think.
And Alvin, I understand now. I'm sorry for calling you greedy.
That's okay. So, Aeon, what's next for you?
That I
Now
don't
that you're
know.
back,
Join
wanna-
us.
I might
do you
go.
want to come? Do you want to come with us to wherever it is we're going next?
Possibly. I'll have to see how I feel in the morning. The idea of going and being a lone gunslinger and righting wrongs on my own for a bit does sound very appeasing as well for the moment.
From the
Why
sound
not
of
come
your
with us?
grumbling stomach, you need some food.
Yes, it would actually be quite nice.
Why don't you come with us till we find our father and make that right, per se.
All right.
Willem,
Yes.
those books that I left with you the last time we were here,
Yeah.
have you been able to find anything out from those?
It's been like 8 hours.
Okay.
I need a bit more time than that. I understand everyone thinks I'm a miracle worker. Like, I get it. I really do.
Well,
but,
you're pretty damn close.
yeah, thank you.
And I'll flourish the cloak you gave me.
That is a nice cloak, isn't it?
Very much.
All right.
Do you have another one of those handy?
Another one of what?
Scroll.
No, that was the last wish I had.
If you get another one, I'll pay 1,000 platinum for it.
I'll take you up on that for sure. Not many people love to make wishes, let alone wish spells anymore.
After what we went through today, I was wondering, do you have something like a resurrection scroll? Something to bring one of us back in case one of us goes down again.
By the way, at this point, he slides the cuffs underneath the counter that Royce put on earlier and pulls out a bag of, not a full refund, but it is 4,000 platinum.
This platinum, I don't need it. Someone take it. I feel bad enough cutting
Bryn takes it.
these cuffs off of him.
Unfortunately, I've lost touch with cleric friends over the years. I don't have anyone else to make them for me anymore.
We know.
You never know unless you ask.
I mean, if I come across them, or somebody decides to suddenly get in contact with me again, you will be the first people I let know. Trust you. Trust me.
At this point, Alvin just kind of reaches into his backpack and he has the bloodstone. He's just kind of absent-mindedly fingering it in his hand.
That sounds dirty.
Get all the jokes. Come on, let's get them out.
Alvin.
That was a
I'm-
gem of a joke.
Need to love your
Alvin.
bloodstone every day of the month. There's mine. You're welcome.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm giving myself inspiration for that.
So Alvin, we might need that while we hunt down our father at some point.
Yeah, we can do that. I was thinking about my sister.
Unfortunately, it's only going to show the person closest.
Right. That's why I was thinking if Willem could let us out somewhere far away, somewhere on the other side of the world, it might show
Somewhere
us
new.
somebody else, somewhere new. But I have no
Right.
idea where. Or we could use it for your father. Or
No.
Bryn, Bael, Lucy, if you have somebody you want to find, the stone isn't going anywhere.
Everybody I need's right here.
To my knowledge, they're all on a different plane of existence.
There's no one else.
Do you all want to think about where you might want to go? And discuss it internally away from me?
Maybe a good idea.
Sure.
Okay. Let's take a break there, so I mute out, and they can discuss where they want to go and surprise me when we come back from the break, which is just what every DM wants. If you guys come up with a decision, type it in chat for me, por favor.
That's what we're best at.
Thank you, guys. Throwing me for a loop? Absolutely. Alright, we'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much am I gonna hate you guys?
So
Two?
the 10.
Maybe
10?
like a
A 2?
A 2?
I don't think you will, Alvin. Do you think you will?
it might be like a 3 or a 4. I think
Not that much, yeah.
I've mentioned before that I want to take you guys there.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
So
Okay.
what's the number?
That number I showed?
No. You said on a scale from 1 to 10, and
How much
I'm
am I gonna
saying
hate
now
you
that you
guys?
know. How much do you?
Probably like a 2.
Okay.
I think you guys are gonna be anyway. Do you guys want to ask Willem?
Willem, and I'm still holding the bloodstone. We still need to find my sister. We know that the Whispered One has plans for her. So I think if you could take us back to Ilaris, we could use the stone again, and it might, if she's closer than my mother is, it might have a chance of pointing us toward her. So could you take us to Lil Scene, to where I grew up? I haven't been there in years. I have no idea what it's like right now, but I think that's a good place to start looking.
I have. Willem gets super serious, by the way, for a minute. Like, his brows come down. I'll let you all go to a little scene, but I must warn you, I don't think you're going to like what you're going to find there. Empire took purging the Adventurers Guild from their borders very seriously.
Well, I remember what it was like when I left, when the cult had pretty much taken over, when half the town was dead.
That was 8 years ago, right?
I think like 6-ish, something like that.
It's been about 3 years since the Adventurers Guild purge happened.
How bad is it?
I haven't been there to survey the damage myself. I know Sadoba was burned to the ground. Considering Lil Scene was the port for Sadoba, I don't doubt they suffered a bad fate as well. But
Above game, what did Lil Scene have to do with the Adventurers Guild? Because I'm not.
So Sadoba was a landlocked city, and so the Adventurers Guild would have all their supplies go through the port, the tiny port, like the 3-boat dock at Lil Scene on the coast.
Okay, so the concern is the port may have just been wrecked, but the people should still be there.
Possibly ruined the town too, but
yeah. Well, it's my town.
All right.
I'd like a chance to survey the damage myself.
Yes, understand. Is there any place I can drop you? Either gunslinging friend off, or is he joining you all?
I'll look over at Aeon and I'll just look at Royce, and it's up to you.
Coming with us till we kill our father?
Make a persuasion check.
Guidance.
DM inspiration.
So now he's gonna be fishing for more of those all night, guys. Just fair warning.
No, I still have 3.
It was a joke. Anyway.
I have 3 with a 2 in front of it.
24.
Okay. As much as I appreciate the invitation, and I do need to get out of Al Ghul, to say the least, going to the other empire is not something that I intend to do at this current moment, unfortunately.
I know it's not something you intended to do, but I thought we were in this together.
When you decide to go after the Cairn, Auckland, I'll be there.
I feel like we held up on our end of the bargain.
Make an insight check.
Guidance.
Forgot it was a straight roll. 15.
Okay. Let's see how well he does. If you want the truth, before I even consider going after my father, the list of people within this empire, other artificers sent me down this path, what I became. And, that's something I'd like to take care of alone. I do not want to drag you all into that.
What if I can help you kill some of them? Would you not want me to help you with the path that drug you from here? And it started with our father. Why can't I help you?
That's where it's going to end. I will have your help then. These are the people who misguided me and sent me down the path towards Vecna, and I will deal with it myself.
You know you're not on your own anymore, right?
I do.
You don't have to do this by yourself. You don't.
No, I understand I don't have to do it by myself. This revenge is something I want to do by myself.
I can understand that.
I respect that.
It's understandable, but I'm sorry that I can't help you with it, because we've already had enough in our past that led to all of this.
Just know when it comes to the Lich, we all have stake in the game.
That is true. You get stronger, and I'll hold up the same end on my end about that.
Just realize you always have family.
Yes. And he'll, like, grab your wrist and pull you in for a hug, Royce.
I'll grab his wrist back, of course, and hug him.
Right.
First hug Royce has had since he was about 4.
And, pretty formal, like, handshake and kind of bow to all of you. But for now, this is where our paths diverge. I'm with our friend here. I shouldn't be too far away if you do actually need help.
And
Go ahead.
And if you find something on your travels about those last 2 seals, keep in touch.
Will do. try and keep an ear to the ground and see if I hear anything.
In one of our conversations, you said if I wanted to learn how to use something, I should ask the dragon that we had.
Yes.
I don't have that option anymore. Is there something you can leave me with that I can try to learn on my own?
He wouldn't, by the way, Sir Axis. Just because I don't want to type. All right. Until pull out this tiny wooden box and hand it to you.
I'll
What's
open
in
it.
the box?
What's in the box? It's a
It's my dick in a box.
it's a pistol.
Very small box.
Yeah, it's like a
It's not about the size.
well, it's a smaller box than the ones you guys got all your gear in the other day, but it's a Xandrian pistol and about 30 rounds of ammo.
Hopefully, by the next time we meet, I'll be using this proficiently.
I'm sorry, 40, which I will add to your inventory and equipment. It gets easier with time. It shouldn't be super difficult.
I'll thank him.
May Io guide you, bless you.
Puts his hand on his heart. Thank you. Thank you all for this opportunity of the last couple days. It's been fun. Doesn't seem like the right word, does it?
Tolerable?
It's certainly been interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting. There it is. He'll step out of the door in Aston.
Willem, do you have a scrying crystal?
He makes some very weird faces when you say that. No.
I was figured maybe we could have a small one or get a small one and keep tabs on his brother. Or you could keep tabs on him for us and let us know through Bryn's book.
I have a feeling I'll be seeing him eventually, but really, no one's gonna try and insight check Willem. Okay.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
I
Let's see if you can. Let's see if you
should-
can actually. Let's see if you can actually beat. You might actually beat him.
I got a plus 12 in insight, so
I know you do.
26.
The look on his face when you asked him about a scrying stone probably does not have one for a good reason. Or if he does have one, is keeping it hidden for a good reason. Judging by the pained looks on his face, knowing that you guys want what you want him to do with it.
Before we leave, I walk over to Royce, place a hand on his shoulder. He's no longer your half brother, he's your brother.
I know, and I'm happy about that. It's actually good to have family.
We're all family.
Are we ready?
Willem, could you drop us off at my home? And I'll sort of relay to him exactly where in the town it is.
That's a bit risky, considering you haven't been there in several years. It could be owned by an entirely different family, and I'd be afraid to scare them. How I can
What about the alley?
I'd still like to know.
I can
I'd
let
like
you all
to
out
see-
outside the town.
Sure.
All right. Probably a couple miles. Just a couple miles up the road from Helsine shouldn't be a problem. And he's going to cast his spell for the store. I cocked the first one. All right. Whenever you're ready. Until we see each other again.
Thanks again for all your help.
All right. Guys walk out on a... I forget how time zones work, guys. Because you just jumped several, so now I have to think about this. It'd be about...
We've essentially gone from like Europe to the West Coast.
No, you've gone... So there's only... So... God dang it. I threw it over here. So spoiler alert, like, this is like the world map, right? So you guys jumped from like that dot to down there. So it's more like... Nova Scotia to California. Makes sense. So it was 10 p.m. in Aston, which Royce would know.
So it would be like
Should be 6 p.m. or
5 or 6, yeah.
it
4
should be
hours,
6.
so it should be 6 p.m. So it
Royce
is
knew that too.
dusk on the road. Royce did know that. Royce actually pulled it out before me. Good job. It's dusk. Hour and a half until sunset in this area.
It's always better to gain time when you have jet lag.
That is true. That is very true.
Facts.
It's like when you, in November, you fly to Arizona and you land like an hour after you left from the East Coast. It's great.
When we get there, I'll look around, and I assume I'm at least a little.
You're super
with
familiar.
this
It's the road. It's the northern road out of the town to Valerin.
So I'll sort of point the way toward the scene and tell everybody it's this way.
All right.
How far is Valerian from Lacine?
A good 6-hour trek.
Is that on foot or
On foot, yeah.
okay? 6 hours on foot isn't too far.
No.
We grew up so close to each other, Alvin. Only a 6-hour difference.
Yeah, and with Jasper, it probably would have been closer to 3 or 4.
Did you ever make your way to the city?
Not really. I was here. I was working. Just, my father and I would make things in the blacksmith shop all week. Farm equipment and tools, various things. And then once a week, we would just take our cart and Jasper around to all the farms and sell people whatever they needed. And that was my life up until this cult took over.
As we walk into the town, I'll ask him, does this look how you remember?
DM does it
If
look
you guys
how I
are
remember?
if you guys are walking into town, I need everybody to make perception checks.
18.
Okay.
I'll use an inspiration.
Okie dokie.
30-20.
19.
That's just an 11.
Okay. Bushes off to the side of the road seem to be making a little bit of noise. In an odd way.
I cast light on the bushes.
The bush is now illuminated, blinding you from seeing whatever was inside the bush.
Oh, that was dumb. Can't pull it.
Can I send my mage hand into the bush?
Yes.
Does it grab onto anything?
If you can make the grab action, yes.
The roll?
Yeah. It's
Mage got that.
technically roll to hit.
Do I add anything to it?
No. It's
17.
the modifier of it.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
You add your proficiency modifier to it, and that's it. Sorry, D&D Beyond is being super slow.
I noticed that too.
So 23.
Okay. Yeah, you hit something. You grab onto something.
I pull it out.
Okay. Whoa, hold up a second. I do not know what is going on with the bit rate. Sorry, guys. Nope. We are not rendering any frames at all currently. Let me close that out. Yeah, no, it's not you. It's somehow me. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, we're currently dropping 90% of frames right now. It's cool.
Is your cord plugged in tightly?
My network adapter. Alright, I'm hoping that fixed the issue. Hello. Hi, I believe we instantly came back. So that's good. And immediately we're having issues again. That's cool. Oh, nope. Apparently we're fine. We're back down under 2.6%, although it's still laggy on my end. I figured out why. Oh, no, we're all good now. I look laggy, but nope, we're not.